Shalom everyone, Parashat Vayigash Tafshin Peivav. If your brothers had sold you into slavery, could you forgive them? If my sisters had sold me into slavery, would I be able to forgive them? I'm far from being sure that I could. Yosef does not take revenge on his brothers, and it's not because he didn't have the power to do so. But he doesn't take revenge on them, he makes peace with them, he reassures them. What gives him the strength not to take revenge? If we can understand what gave Yosef this strength, maybe we can draw from it too. This question might seem theoretical. After all, Baruch Hashem, your brothers and my sisters did not sell us into slavery. But the truth is, this question has very many relevant implications for all of us. First, there are families in which deep conflicts exist between siblings for all sorts of reasons. It's very relevant to learn from Yosef how such relationships can be healed. Second, we'll return to the second point soon. Let me raise a few points in relation to this question. What gave Yosef the strength not to take revenge on his brothers who had sold him into slavery? Number one, the Torah forbids taking revenge. The author of Sefer HaChinuch also asks, how can one manage to uphold this prohibition not to take revenge? He writes that the answer lies in faith in the divine providence and hashgacha. He writes that everything that happens to a person comes from Hashem, and everything has a purpose. Therefore, when another person harms me, I must understand that this has a reason that's tied to me, and I have no need to be angry at the person who hurt me, and as a result, I have no reason or desire to take revenge. Sefer HaChinuch brings an example from David HaMelech, who, when Shimei cursed him as David was fleeing from Avshalom, who rebelled against him, David said, "Let him curse, for Hashem has told him to do so." Let's return to Yosef. Yosef experiences how everything that happened to him led him to a position where he could care for his father and brothers. He says to them, "It was not you who sent me here, it's Hashem." Yosef teaches us exactly what Sefer HaChinuch said. Number two, in the Zohar and the Midrash, Yosef is called Yosef HaTzadik. The common explanation why he is called a tzaddik is because he withstood the temptation of Potiphar's wife. But it is said in the name of Rabbi Nachman Mibreslav that Yosef is called a tzaddik because he did not take revenge on his brothers. Rabbi Nachman taught that Yosef had the power to help people correct their ways. Why? Because Yosef was able to see even in the lowest person good points. And through this person would begin to change and correct his ways. Yosef was able to see the good even in his brothers who hurt him so deeply. So he was able to reconcile with them and show them a path to correct what they had done to him. Number three, Yosef cares about the entire family, all of Am Yisrael, and that's more important than his personal anger towards his brothers. And in our lives, this is relevant to family conflicts. If we keep fighting, the whole family suffers, mostly those who are fighting with one another. But if we reconcile, the whole family benefits, including those who were fighting. And it's relevant to Beit Yaakov, the 12 tribes of Israel. Hashem gave us a mission of Torah, Kedusha, Kiddush Hashem, and repairing the world. How can Am Yisrael fulfill our mission if we're busy with inner wars because of what the brothers did to Yosef? Earlier, I promised to return to the question of this topic's relevance. So here it is. I'm sure everyone immediately understands how relevant this is to Am Yisrael today. How will we survive together? How will we together strengthen Medinat Yisrael? How will we fulfill our mission in the world if we're busy fighting with the other groups in our nation because of the serious mistakes they made? Even if we're right and they really did wrong, so we'll be right and tear the nation apart because we're right? How will that help healing Am Yisrael or healing the world? Number four, another aspect of this topic, from a different perspective, is that the fact that Yehuda took responsibility, he was willing to remain a slave for the rest of his life in place of Binyamin, so that Binyamin could turn to their father Yaakov. The fact that Yehuda did tshuva and corrected his past actions regarding his role in the sale of Yosef, this means that, and this is apparently what Yosef was aiming for all along, this gives Yosef the power to reconcile with his brothers. If someone hurt me badly but then shows sincere regret, does tshuva and corrects that wrongdoing, it's much easier for me to forgive and reconcile with him. And yes, this too is very relevant today within Am Yisrael. If we all insist, each group demanding from the other, first, you need to admit your mistakes in our internal conflicts, then reconciliation will be very hard to begin. But if someone takes the first step, shows that they recognize their part in the division and take responsibility for it, it might give strength to the other side to do so as well, and it could start a momentum of mutual reconciliation. So we started with Yosef, and we ended up learning about ourselves. Shabbat Shalom.